I want to surround myself with people who are smart, who know how to use their femininity, who enjoy their femininity, who are funny, like all these different things. I imagine my friends to be that. So what I learned through podcasts, through a lot of things or whatever, is like, actually, I can be a friend to her. I can be a friend to the show. I can actually engage on in the comment section. I can actually become a Patreon. I can actually just be a friend because I am a friend to what you're doing and what you're saying.
Are you a patron on Patreon?
I am. I am. Yes, of course. Yes, girl.
This is because Anthony Dickey from Hair Rules, I saw him in the comments the other day. I was like, Dickey, you're a patron on Patreon? He's like, yes. I'm like, yes, y'all.
No, because you have to.
This is about to be only on Patreon. Carry on.
No, well, I did a summit with GLAAD that was called the Black Queer Creative Summit. And one of the things that I have pointed out to folks is folks always say they want certain type of content, but don't put their money behind it. And I said, how many of y'all have a Zoo subscription? Now, thankfully, it was only about one or two in the room that had one. So everybody felt like they was in good company. But I was telling them, know that y'all are constantly putting your money behind things, celebrities, and content that have said they don't even want their kids to grow up LGBTQ, who currently use homophobic and transphobic like rhetoric and the stuff that they do. And yet because it bops, y'all still twerking. So we ain't far liberated either. You know what I'm saying? We've got a lot of things to dismantle. And that comes with kind of, we talk about decolonizing ourselves.
Yep.
But, in my language, I come from the tech industry. So for me, it's about hacking the system.
What you're listening to is a professional, okay? Because you see how she brought us right back round. What does hacking the system mean to you, particularly as it relates to Hollywood?
Hacking the system starts with understanding the system. You can't be up here sitting here talking about ain't no racism. Because if you don't understand that racism is systemic and is a system, then you'll never be able to hack it. So when you understand that we talk about systems, it's plural. Because, because there are so many systems.
Yes.
So again, the first step is recognizing some things are working together to create systemic results. So first thing, recognizing there's a system. The next thing is, the more you understand each component of the system, again, so when we're talking about like technology and websites, when we talk about web development, part of a web system is understanding the frameworks. HTML and CSS are the bones of a website, and ways in which, like, if you use CSS, I can say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think is it 6 number? I think it's 6 is the hexagon when we're talking about colors. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's so it's really knowing the language.
That's it. Yep. The lingo.
So what happened was, when I realized one system and how it was connected to another system, I started learning coding languages, or I started learning the code. Now, there are movies like Beautiful, starring Minnie Driver and little Haley Joel Osment, I think it is. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's an older movie called Beautiful. And it stars Minnie Driver, who comes out of a trailer park, her mother is an alcoholic. Her father tried to molest her when she was younger. And so she dove into the world of beauty pageants, looking for external validation. And she would do anything for it. So she set one of the girls' batons on fire while super gluing it to her hand. Things like that. It's very funny. It's like a comedy situation. But eventually she gets all the way up to like the Miss America pageant. She finally gets there, and she becomes like, it's between her and one other girl. And the girl looks over at her and she says, "You did it. You finally cracked the code. meaning you're going to be one of the girls that makes it out.
Yeah.
Oh, and she talks about how she comes from the trailer park. She's like, is all that stuff that you said really true, that you like riding roller coasters? And, and none of this stuff was true about her. And she had actually covered up a pregnancy, and so would have been disqualified. It was this whole situation. We've been talking about this. It's literally about hacking the code and understanding that in Hollywood, I didn't know it at first. I didn't know it. I was naive. And so when I was walking and navigating certain spaces, I didn't realize it was all coded. I didn't realize there was so much coded in the way that people moved. And so
tell me a scenario where you saw, because I got a million, y'all done heard them 50, 11 times on this show, but like, what's a scenario where you was like, oh, there is no spoon? Like, what's a scenario where you didn't realize until you realized what the situation was?
I mean, there's so many situations, but I will say, I think that we have to, I've been acting for a really, really long time. And so I've been doing independent films. I've been doing college films. I've been doing a lot of things. So I've ran into with a camera and a script who wrote a script themselves, is directing it and starring in it across a really hot model. And it's some really hood with sexy girls in their out and all, you know what I'm saying? Like,
some Tubi.
Some Tubi. No, but what I realized was it ain't just these. It's everybody. Meaning, from those to Harvey Weinstein, so much of this business is about are you, and is also about, do I have a shot? And it's also about, like, so that's why can't this be acting when a trans woman is all of a sudden in the script? Now we not acting no more in a romantic comedy. Ooh. Now y'all want to drop from the road because you saying you not gay, baby. Neither am I. I'm a woman. WOA. I mean, listen, I'm gonna spell it right.
WOMAN.
Yes, exactly.
But it's fascinating what you're saying, because it's like, it's not even about the acting. It was about the, I want to feel like I can you. The acting is the byproduct of this feeling that I can you. Woo child. The realness of that, and people not understanding how that is a currency that so many of your peers are constantly dabbling in. And when you don't know that, you like, why am I not?
It's coded as, because I'm gonna tell you why it's coded.
It's 2024. Everyone's just talking, so don't hold back. We here. We here. Yeah, I literally realized today, like, oh, this is gonna be the year we say everything. Well, okay.
This is the year that we say everything. But it does come down to that. And there was something else that I was going to point out, and I did, I started editing myself on the fly because I was like, okay, girl, keep it a little cute. But like, it's definitely a lot about, are you, and then there is this other really big piece that I think people are sorely missing. And the conversation came up when we talked about that show Beef that was on, and folks started like there was a lot of chatter online about the show because there was an Asian actor on there who had bragged about a Black woman.
Yep.
And folks was like, and y'all say that that's y'all best friend, or that's y'all friend, and y'all working together, y'all doing all this, and we supposed to support abusers who are being on this situation. And I just thought to myself, y'all some unserious. Y'all are so unserious.
If you want to get the full episode of Small Doses Podcast, the visuals, you got to get them right here at the Amandaverse.